I know that you're drunk. Yeah. Tell me.
Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. So it's your girl Zan, of course. We back with another video. I told you I was gonna be consistent. So today's video, we're going over this look right here. This is my go-to makeup look. So if I'm going on a date, if I'm going to work, when I want to wear makeup to work, because I don't wear makeup to work all the time. Church, anything. This look can go anywhere. Like wedding, wherever you want to go. Date night, wherever you want to go. Okay, if you're going date night, you want to do a red lip, you can do a red lip with this too. My go-to look. Simple, easy, not that many steps, but I do explain. Okay, I do explain some key things. So make sure y'all stay tuned. Make sure, again, y'all like, comment, subscribe. Let me know if y'all want to see a drugstore makeup tutorial covering the same look. Maybe a little different, but going over like skin, foundation, concealer, the steps. Let me know. But yeah, this is the look. Make sure y'all stay tuned, and I hope y'all enjoy. Alright y'all, so first things first, when trying to accomplish my go-to makeup look, right, or any makeup look for that matter, you have to put on moisturizer. So moisturizer I usually use is the Pond's. Walmart is cheap. Okay, it's cheap. It's like I can't remember exactly how much it costs, but it's cheap. And I got the one for dry skin because I'm a dry skin girly, like really bad. I have really dry skin, so I always get my stuff for dry skin. So before you even go in with any product, anything, make sure face is clean. I already exfoliated. Sometimes if I have like a big event I'm going to, I would do a sheet mask, but I'm not gonna do a sheet mask right now. So moisturizer. So we're gonna go in with our moisturizer first, because that always like sets the foundation. Okay, and again, if you dry, regardless, but if you dry skin, if you have dry skin, you definitely need to go in with a moisturizer. Okay, definitely need to go in with a good moisturizer. And I always go down on my neck, because you never want to neglect the neck area. Once you put your moisturizer on, I usually like to let this sit. So most of the time I'll go ahead and go in on my brows, go ahead and do my brows, because I want my moisturizer to sit for a little bit. So that's what we're going to do. So I'm going to go ahead and take my eyebrow pencil. The eyebrow pencil I usually go to, or my favorite eyebrow pencil, is the Benefit Precisely Brow Pencil. And I like the shade 4.5. And for my eyebrow gel, I use the 24-hour brow gel by Benefit as well. And it's just in clear. I always go in with concealer first. So for today, I'm going to use my Makeup by Mario concealers. I have the shade 380 and I have 520. Go in with your concealer. And this just makes it easier for me to do it this way. And then I drag down my concealer. And the brush I'm using is the Morphe 203. I also like to use, it's another Morphe brush. It's not over here. It's another Morphe brush I like to use. It's a concealer brush too, but it's a little more tighter. The M167 brush looks like this. So it's not as fluffy. So I like to use this one too. But for today, since I already started using the 203 brush, I'm using 203. So I drag it down. And then this is when I start scoping my brow. Bring it down. Because eventually, once we get done with our face, we're going to apply concealer on the lid. But I don't want to do that too early, because it'll dry down and then it'll start creasing. And you don't want that. So I'm going to wait a little bit. I'm going to go on this eye, drag it down. And I start scoping whatever brow shape I want. Okay. Then I'm going to go in with a fluffy brush. This is just a brush I got from Amazon. And then I just blend it out. Like that. And so now we got our brows sculpted, okay? Now that we have them sculpted, I'm gonna go in with my brow pencil. And then this is when I'm gonna start filling them in. So I start not really towards the front of the brow, but kind of like a little past the beginning of the brow. And I start filling in or drawing the bottom line. And then I fill in. Like that. Now I have full brows. Like I don't have like scarce brows. My mom has scarce brows and my sister has scarce brows. So if I was doing their makeup, I would like use a heavier hand because I have to actually make the hairs. But because my eyebrows grow thicker and fuller, except for on the tail. Now on my tail, I don't really have that much like hair, so I have to go a little heavier on the tail. But in the center, I don't have to use as much product because I already have, you know, the hair there. If you notice, I skipped the front, so I haven't even touched the front of my brow right here. Okay, go to the side. Just spooling, brushing excess product through, because you don't want it to be cakey or have too much product. Went with my concealer and clean up my tail. But yeah, then you just blend out. It's kind of just add as you go. Add as you go. Don't go heavy-handed so fast, because it's always easier to add than take off. Even though you can use concealer to get rid of, it's just easier to just little by little, go little by little. And my moisturizer has kind of set in for 5 minutes. I'm now gonna go in with primer, my Refy primer. So just pop the top off, and I go in. So I go in with that, and then I'm gonna rub that in. Now that we have that on, I have one more primer that I like to use. I've been using my e.l.f. Okay, looks like to place it in the center of my face. So my nose, take my nose ring out. Okay, and so our face is prepped. Okay, after that, I will usually probably let all of that sit for like 2-3 minutes. I probably play my music. I'm just gonna go straight into foundation. So the foundation that I use lately, I've been using is two. I've been using my Danessa Myricks Yummy Skin Balm in the shade 10. And I love it. I love pairing it with my House of Labs foundation. So I'm gonna go in with that. Take the top off. This is how you know I like it. Okay, I'm not gonna give you no product that I don't use. I use this stuff. Okay, so I'm gonna take it, put my brush in it a little bit, and then I like to work on one side of the face at a time. So I always keep a paper towel or a piece of tissue by me when I do makeup, whether it's on myself or I'm doing a client. And the reason being, I learned this from Olivia Sung, the girl that used to do Ari makeup like a couple years ago. I went to her master class and she put me on. So the reason why I keep a piece of tissue or a paper towel by me is so that I can wipe my brush off. Okay, because you want the amount of product you're applying to both sides to be the same. First start putting on foundation, you have a clean brush. I always start with clean brushes. That's another thing. I don't use dirty brushes. Each time I do my makeup, I have a clean brush. When I get to this side, the brush is now filled with product. So I'll wipe my brush off. That way it's not as much product being distributed on the other side. If that makes sense. So I try to mimic a clean brush as much as possible when I get to the other side without having to grab another brush. Because who wants to grab another brush? So I just use a paper towel. But anyways, we're going. See, so now it's not as much product. Alright, we're gonna wipe it. We're gonna go back in. Make sure it's in there. Like that. And now we're on the other side. Another key thing when doing makeup is blending. You gotta make sure you blend it. Now we're gonna go in with our House of Labs. Again, in the color 500 Deep Neutral. And I'm just gonna put a little on, a pump on one side, a pump on the other side. And it's not even a full pump. It's more like a half pump. Like that. After foundation, I'm now going to go ahead and place my concealer, and then we'll do blush. So again, for my concealers, I'm using my Makeup by Mario concealers. And so I'm going to go in with the shade 520 first. I'll put some in these two places. And then on the chin. And then a little on the forehead, but like not really on the forehead, in between the brow. That's why I like it. Because once you put it in between the brow, when you blend it, you're gonna spread it, so it's gonna go to the forehead. But I don't just place it in the middle of my forehead. That makes sense. 380, and I just go right on top, but only in the inner corner. Okay, so we're gonna let that dry down for a little bit, and I'm gonna go in with my blush. So for blush, Rare Beauty in the shade Grateful. Okay, and that concealer set, I'm gonna put some on. Okay, okay, wear blush. I know a lot of people do not like to wear blush, but I promise, blush, it looks good. Blush is our Real Techniques setting brush. So this is a setting brush, meaning it's supposed to be for powder, but I don't necessarily use this for powder because I use a powder puff. So I like to use it for like my blush, or to use like to blend out my contour. So I'm gonna use it for my blush. So we're just gonna pat. Okay, we're just gonna pat it and blend it in. Again, key to makeup is blending. You want to make sure that you take your time when it comes to the blending process. Okay, wipe a little bit off, and then go on the other side. And if we want to add more, we can always add more. Again, it's easier to add than take away. All right, so I know we look crazy. We do. We look crazy right now. We do. But we're going to get there. We're going to get there. So now we're ready to go ahead and blend our concealer. So I always start on my chin. I don't know why. There's no science behind it. I just always start on my chin. So I'm going to take this is the Morphe 173 brush. Okay. Looks like this. Love this brush. I use this brush for concealer. Okay. And then I need to take my foundation brush because, again, blend. Okay, you want to make sure you blend. So we're gonna blend concealer on the chin first. Foundation brush, and you want to make sure you blend the edges just so that it can be seamless. Okay, and notice I still have my napkin in my hand. Forehead. So remember I said I apply my concealer between my brows. I then blend up and out. Like off. Foundation brush. I go over those edges. Because you don't want to be able to see the indentation of where both colors or different colors meet, right? You want it to look seamless. So now that we have did the chin, did the forehead, we're now ready to go under the eye because it has dried down a little bit. So we're gonna go under the eye. So taking my pencil brush, I'm gonna start at the edge and I pat. Take it on the side of my nose. Because I don't really contour my nose. So I use my concealer as like help when it comes to my, because I like the size of my nose. I'm not really tripping about the size of my nose. If you was trying to change the size or shape of your nose, you would contour it to kind of change up, you know, the way it looks. But because I like my nose, I don't really contour my nose a lot. So I use my concealer to kind of help in that. So I brought the product you see on the side of my nose, okay? And then I start bringing it into my eye, that corner of my eye, the inner corner of my eye, to kind of help, like that. And then while that's drying down, I'm gonna take my foundation brush. I'm gonna make sure I have everything blended, right? So I'm gonna go over that blush. I'm gonna go over the edges of that nose. I'm gonna make sure everything is blended up, because when we put powder on, powder is gonna set everything. So you wanna make sure you have everything blended first, okay? I think we're good to go for right now. But we're gonna keep that concealer brush close by, okay? Because now we're going in to set, okay? So to set, I go in with my Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Finish Complexion Perfecting Micro Powder, okay? So it's a pressed powder. I like to go on my pressed powder before I go in with loose powder, okay? So this is in the shade 3. And then after I go on with this, I go in with my Huda Beauty Easy Bake Loose Baking and Setting Powder in the color Cinnabon. So I use these two to set the center of my face, meaning my chin, my forehead, under the eye, okay? So I take a powder puff, which I got these from Amazon. Best thing, I do not use a brush for this purpose or for this step. I use a powder puff, okay? So we got the powder puff close by. I'm gonna go ahead and open up my Huda Beauty powder and Cinnabon. I take my concealer brush and I, you know, blend the creases out before I set with my pressed powder, okay? So I have all this stuff in my hand as I'm going. That way I can move fast, okay? Because I crease. So I'm gonna take my concealer brush. I'm gonna make the ugly face. Y'all know the face. Make the ugly face. Take my pressed powder. And that's it. Okay. And I also go over my blush. Like that. And I go chin. Forehead. I go a little over my brows in the front. Down my nose. And for some reason I do the other eyelash. I don't know why, but it's just the process that I do. So now that we have that done, we still got one more step, right? I'm gonna go ahead and set my face with my I'm gonna use my Fenty Pro Filter Soft Matte Powder Foundation, Okay, so this is a powder foundation. This is what I use to set my foundation or my face. Okay, all of my face. Now you also can use the MAC Cosmetics Mineralized Skin Finish, but lately I've been using lately I've been using my Fenty powder foundation, and this is in the color 480. So I take my fluffy brush. This is the Real Techniques brush. This is the powder brush. I take it, everywhere. Everywhere I put foundation, that's what I said. Okay, so anything you put on that's liquid, you have to set it with a powder. We have set our face. We're gonna go in with our loose powder, the one I said, this one, the Cinnabon, right? We're gonna dip our powder puff in it, but you don't want to go directly in like this. That's not what you want to do. You want to take the back of your hand. Look at all that excess powder. And now I'm going to go back over all the places where I put that pressed powder. So there, my forehead, a little over my brows. Okay. Now I don't even have to go back in the actual container. I could just take what's on my hand. Take the little bit that's on my hand. Under eye. Under eye. It's like a lot of steps. But I promise you, it's fast. Like I could do this. I could do all of this in 15 minutes. Because I've been doing it for so long. I take my Morphe. This is the Deep Glam face palette by Morphe. Looks like this. And it's in the shade 8D. Okay, because I'm a chocolate dark girl. So I have to get the dark one. And it looks like this. This is great for beginners. Because it has so many shades. Okay, so first starting out, get stuff that has a lot of colors in it. Okay, don't go buying separate palettes that have, you know, palettes that have only one color. Get something that has multiple things. Okay, because I really could use this for a lot of stuff. I could use this to highlight, and then I could use these for blush, you know. So get something like this, and it's affordable. Okay, everything don't have to be expensive. Okay, so I'm gonna go in with this, and I usually go in, I'm not gonna lie, I mix like the 3 darkest shades. I ain't gonna hold you. So I don't really have a particular color that I like. I kind of mixed all 3 of them together, and that's just how I usually do it. But I'm gonna take, this is my Morphe M449 brush. Looks like this. I'm gonna dip a little bit in all 3 colors. I'm gonna tap some off. I got my brush, you know, the brush I use to set my whole face. I got that in hand because remember, we got to make sure we blend, right? Blend. So what we're gonna do is we're just gonna go in the hollow part of our cheek, and I make a 3. Okay, I make a 3. So that's the bottom part of the 3. Can you see the difference? This is the side I did. I didn't do anything on this side. And then this is the top part of the 3. Okay, I take my brush and I blend it. I go over it. If I feel like I put too much, I go over it. Just now for my nose, I do add a little bit of those same 3 to my nose. Take a little smaller brush and I just go lightly into my brow. I just put a little flush of color right there. That's it. I start at the tip where my brow starts right there. And I just go down. That's it. And I blend into my brow. And I connect it. That's it. Okay? That's really it for the face. That's it. Now for eyes, my go-to for my eyes, simple. When I say so simple, it's so simple, y'all. I take that concealer brush I use, okay? I go over my eye, because again, we got some creases. So I go over my eye, just to blend those creases out. I take a fluffy brush. This is one I got from Amazon long time ago. I don't even know what the name of it is at this point. I go in with my, what do I want to use? I go in with a brown. I'm going with 2 of the darkest shades in that Morphe palette that I showed y'all. Tap off the excess. Mirror. I start at the corner. And I'm just adding color to it. That's all. I just want a little color to my eye. I blend into the crease. Take a clean brush. Which brush do we want to use? Clean brush. I'm going to go in with that press powder I used. And I'm going to just go over those edges to make sure it's blended. Because again, we got to make sure we blend. Last up, I take a glitter. And I'm going to take this gold color in that Morphe palette. That's why I say getting a palette like this is like the best. Here. I'm going to go in with my liner. So I'm going to use my Makeup Revolution pencil. It's a black pencil. I like to go in with black liner. For my lips, my favorite lip combination, my go-to lip combination, I take my Makeup Forever Artist Color Pencil in the color Dimensional Dark Brown. Lip color. So usually I use lately, I'm not gonna say usually, lately I've been using Charlotte Tilbury's lipsticks. And I take a gloss. So the gloss that I love, and I'm gonna be so mad when I run out because I don't think she sells lip glosses anymore. This is Olivia Son's lip gloss. This is, I forgot, I think it was called Supernatural was her makeup line. I don't know the color because it don't have no color on it or nothing, but it's like a nude. I love this lip gloss. Like, I put it over everything. Yeah. And that's the lip. So I'm gonna go put on some lashes, put on some mascara, and I'll come back. Alright, y'all. So I did put on my lashes. I added my moles back. Like, I have a mole there, a mole by my lip, and a mole over here on this eye. Every day I wake up, I have a new mole. Like, I don't know why, but I just get a new mole every day I wake up. For some reason. So I did add my moles back, change my earrings, change my shirt, change my outfit. So This is what I did. Oh, and I added some brown lip gloss to the perimeter of my lip. And that, the color that I use, or the product that I use, is the Fenty Beauty Heat in the color Hot Chocolate. Yeah, Hot Chocolate. And I just outlined where I put that lip liner, that brown lip liner. I outlined it with this. And then I blended it in too. You know what I'm saying? So, last step is to set our makeup. You always want to set it. Now, yes, you went in with powder and all of that, but you still want to set with a setting spray. So the one or the two that I like to use together is these two. This is the Airbrush Flawless Setting Spray. This one, great. And then this is the Makeup Revolution Super Fix Super Hold Misting Spray. Okay, it's a fixing spray. I use them together. Okay, I feel like they work great together. And I just like the way they perform together. So I'm gonna go in with my Charlotte Tilbury first, and I have a fan spray. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Spray. And then we're gonna go in the top to that. And that's it. This is the finest, this is the finishing look. This is the final look. This is what it is. It's simple. Like I said, the more you do it, the easier it becomes, the faster you become. It's fairly simple. Just take your time. The key to makeup is blending. You just want to make sure you blend, 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 blend. It's also important to find products that work with your skin tone. So what works for me that may not work for you. What works for me may work for you. It all depends on you. But it's experimenting. Okay, I had to experiment with shades, ranges, colors, undertones, all of that. I've been there, done that. Okay, so you want to make sure you experiment with what works for you and take your time. It's been days where I've practiced. A lot of people think that they're just gonna put on some makeup and go out the door. You have to practice and practice and practice to get the perfect base. You know, I had to practice. I have pictures where my makeup look crazy. Okay, but it's days where I sit at home, I ain't got nothing going on. Okay, let's practice. Let's play in some makeup. I use clean brushes each time I do my makeup. I don't use dirty brushes. Okay, that's another thing. I make sure that all my brushes are clean. Okay, you can't get a perfect base if you don't have clean brushes. It's just not happening. I just feel like brushes are important. Brushes are important. Having clean brushes are important. You don't have to have expensive brushes, but making sure they're clean, that's important. I want me to do a drugstore makeup video with just drugstore products. Let me know, because I could do that too. But this is it. I'll see y'all later. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. You know, show me some love in the comment section. I'm going to respond. Again, this is just the beginning. We're going to keep going. We're going to be consistent. We're going to be dedicated. And I'll catch y'all later.